Hey folks, man, this is Monk, and we are back with another episode of Classic Cinematics, and this is the show where we talk about the classic films that shaped and warped our childhood film-going experiences. I'm joined as always with my co-host. We got Bobby Blockbuster.
Yo.
That's kind of like a weaker yo than you usually do, though.
Really?
Yeah, that one didn't.
I appreciated that, yo. I appreciated it.
But he's new, so if you're listening, you might recognize our voice. We got Sterling here from the GATSPOD Gaming and Then Some Podcast Network, man. He's going to be hanging out with us today.
Hey, so my name is Sterling. I run the Gaming and Then Some Podcast Network. I am the creator of a podcast network for people that want information that don't want to be talked down to. Have you ever wondered what a teraflop was? Did you try to figure out what it was and then not give a shit once you find out? That's what I'm here for. Are you completely confused by NFTs and you still want to know about them, but you don't want to have somebody talk down to you? That's what I'm here for. And it's it's just what we do. I could be a dick and be like, non-fungible tokens are what NFTs are. So if you make a token that in no way God can funge, that's a non-fungible token. That's the best explanation you're going to get from me over at Gaming and Then Some. I don't get paid for this shit, so I got to care about it. And a lot of shit I just don't care about. So we talk about games, tech, and general nerd shit. And sometimes it goes into relating to the movie we're going to talk about today because we had a fucked up high school experience and junior high experience, or it just goes into, making horrible jokes about Jubilee that we can't repeat on the internet anymore because times have changed.
Yeah, times have changed, man. And I just want to thank you, man, for doing what you did, because I don't think if I hadn't stumbled upon your show, Black Guy Who Tips, man, Black Astronauts, I wouldn't be podcasting, man, or doing anything like this.
Yeah, and they're the ones that for me were the same way, I was to you. Like, it was that consistency and also hearing your own voice, you know what I mean? And hearing people be like, yeah, like I want to hear that, you know what I mean? Like, or like on camera, you know what I mean? Like, when you first see it, you're like, oh, but they might be this kind of black. They might be like, no, we just niggas. We are just niggas. And once you see that you can still harness this, because it's what everybody wants on their shows anyway. Like, once you can do it for yourself, dog, it's a different kind of feeling and a different kind of happiness you get from making your own stuff and being who you truly are. And then people just tuning in sooner or later, being like, "Yo, I like Carrie. Like, let's talk about it." Or like, "Yo, did you know that the opening scene in Carrie is super creepy for this reason?" Like, you start getting those responses back. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So let's get into that, man. So Carrie is an interesting film because for this month of October we're just doing Stephen King adaptations, horror films. It's spooky season, so we're trying to give you guys a theme in this retrospective. But Carrie was released in 1976. It was directed by Brian De Palma. And should I do the voice, Bob?
You got to. If you run, I was going to call you out. Nah, man.
I've been working on this. This is my streaming when I'm on Twitch and I'm reading the list.
You want to drop that register a little bit and talk to him like this.
In this chilling adaptation of Stephen King's horror novel, withdrawn and sensitive teen Carrie White faces taunting from classmates at school and abuse from her fanatically pious mother at home. When strange occurrences start happening around Carrie, she begins to suspect that she has supernatural powers. Invited to the prom by the empathetic Tommy Ross, Carrie tries to let her guard down, but things eventually take a dark and violent turn.
Rolling. The coffin closes.
You sound like the boogeyman, you know what I mean? You sound like the boogeyman, but it was good. It was good. I will say, I feel like that synopsis wasn't as good as possible, because I feel like when Carrie feel like she got superpowers, she didn't think. She immediately went to the library and was like, I need this.
Yeah.
I know what the fuck I got. Like, I am a superhero. Let me find out about this shit. There was no contemplating from her. Like, it fucked me up so hard when the scene changed. They said that was the next day. because she did so much research within 24 hours about what she's doing. I was like, oh, damn, like, this is a really good edited superhero film. Like, you got through all the origin bullshit within 30 minutes. Like, we're just here to see you fuck shit up.
Yeah, that's what this feels like. But let me get into this cast real quick. So we got Sissy Spacek, who plays Carrie. We've got John Travolta in here playing John Travolta. I feel like this is how he is in real life. We got Piper Laurie, Amy Irving, Nancy Allen, who a lot of folks remember, Lewis, RoboCop's partner. Mm-hmm. William Katt also in this, PJ Souls, Betty Buckley, Deidre Berthong, and I got to shout out Miss Eleanor. Was that the gym teacher?
Yes.
Yeah. But
gym teacher's legendary, yo.
Yeah, gym teacher's legendary. There's more people in here, mostly, the other students, man. But pretty much the way this thing breaks down, Carrie is a bullied student. She doesn't fit in. And on top of that, she's got a crazy evangelical, fanatical Christian mom at home who's also giving her problems. But and it goes from there, man. And she does have psychokinetic abilities, man. So that's a crazy thing, and they're manifesting as she's going through this bullying and just other aspects of her life, man. Mm-hmm. But I'm gonna throw it to you, Sterling, man. We usually start and just go into what we like about the film. What's something that you like about this film?
I like the amount that you could slap kids in the 70s. Like, I ain't gonna lie, when the gym teacher slapped Carrie in the beginning, I was like, yo, like, I don't think that was necessary. But But that fucking detention scene, yo, the way she smacked homegirl, she didn't just like smack her, like she held her hand for a minute and charged it up, like she was dropping a heavy attack, yo, and just smacked the shit out of her.
Funny thing about that scene, bro, they said they did over 30 takes because De Palma was unsatisfied with the look of Nancy Allen. He was like, he wanted it to feel natural, so. Gym teacher actually slapped her over 30 times, man.
God, yo,
in real life.
Films in the 70s and 80s were so much different than what they are now, yo. Like,
I mean, at the time, like, kids were getting corporal punishment. I remember I went down south in school. I think I might have been like maybe I don't know. I was in second grade, and I was in North Carolina for like probably half of a year, man, and I got paddled a couple times, man. That was kind of messed up. Yeah, dude, just for cutting up in class and doing the class clown kind of stuff, man. I remember one day it was a rough day for the teacher. I don't know what happened, but she called her assistant principal in, and he came down and she took like 4 of us in the hallway. We was just lined up getting our wax. Yo, this one dude was so little though, the littlest dude. I swear to God, the assistant principal grabbed his belt loop. My man was off the ground. It was like, I was like, yo, this is crazy. But this was sanctioned back then. And if you told your folks, they'd be like, what was you doing? Why was you cutting up?
Then you might get another whooping.
Life was different.
Oh, God.
Yeah, man. Yeah, but that's crazy, man. They were smacking the hell out of each other, man. I appreciate that. I do like for me, an aspect that I like about it is just that, that interactions, man. It's crazy because the way this film starts, man, I gotta speak on this, man. Yeah. I think these high school films, they hit us a little different because we've all had this experience, but this film starts off with a tour through the locker room, man. Like they're outside in gym playing whatever at first, and you can see them like Carrie misses.
Of course, she's so good at volleyball.
Yeah, she sucks at volleyball. And even then they're smacking her like as they're going back in.
You suck, Carrie.
But then this was crazy, man. I don't know what De Palma was thinking, and Bob, he told me, these actresses, they were,
none of them were under 20. But they're all playing teenagers. But still,
they're in high school, and we're going through the locker room. There's full frontal nudity. There's all this going on, and I'm just like, even the way it's shot, man. Like I feel like De Palma, he's directing this, so the camera is just lingering at certain moments. It's almost, especially when we meet Carrie's character, it's almost like you're presenting her in this like sensual way, man. And it is just
it's like soft porn. Like you're waiting for the something crazy to start. It's like, come on, man, what?
Yeah, what? Yeah, dude. Yeah,
I really feel like he had a whole lot of issues with women, and he got out by doing this film. Like,
that's the way it comes from.
You can see where, like, how you were saying, like, it looked like his eye was lingering on shots as they went through the. And honestly, I really I once they like zoomed in on Carrie, I liked the idea of the shot because it was dope. I thought this was just going to be like kind of like a title card where it's not a real place, and then it goes down to one thing. You see Carrie, I'm like, oh, that's a dope shot. But y'all could have done that way differently. Like I didn't need what I got.
We didn't need them going up and down the body,
up and down. Yes, and her like the way it shows her washing herself, and and then there's another thing I read. Whoever produced the film, if you notice, like they're strategically placing the name credits on the left hand side. When his name is placed, is the exact same time when what's her name? Nancy Allen is walking up naked, and he said that all his friends were like, yo, bro, they didn't give you no credit in the film because they weren't looking to the left. Everyone was looking to the right because Nancy Allen was.
So they missed his name because of the way they presented
got everybody fucked up, yo.
These are just the minor inconsistencies. The another major one is they misspelled Stephen King's name.
Did they put the V?
No, they put the V. Yes, they put the V. So and I guess the editors didn't check that. But once we get past all of the just uncomfortableness of the beginning, once we get out of the locker room and get into like the real world, I do really appreciate the cinematography, the way that this whole movie is shot. Like you really kind of. You can capture it captures the feelings that these characters are going through, especially with Carrie. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yo, I ain't gonna lie. No, finish what you were saying first, please. I mean,
no, it's all good. No, go ahead.
Okay. The one thing that really threw me off was there was shit I saw in this movie happen directorially that I haven't seen happen again. That was dope. Like before the mirror breaks, the way every time the Carrie noise happened. The fucking mirror wobbled because it was like a town like what do you call it? Like a mirror of fun, like warp mirror and shit. I was like, yo, that's mad smart. That's a really cheap way to make it look like you're having this huge effect on glass, but without needing to pay thousands or even hundreds of dollars. And I've never seen that thing done before or done again. And I'm like, yo, wait, what? Like that's money right there. Like just wiggle it and you're good. Like this is genius.
And there was so many things for this coming out in '76. Like, I love all of the slow motion shots, but then we also get some POV shots and then that split screen. You know what I'm saying? This was something that De Palma was known for. He did it in the movie that he directed previous to this. I think it was called Sisters. But that split screen, especially once we're in the prom scene, like you're seeing, it's almost like cause and effect. Like fire hose is spraying, and then you're seeing who is hitting. You know what I mean? You're watching film, just like, oh shit.
I ain't gonna lie. Like when I saw that scene, I was like, yeah, this is worth black people getting hit with hoses for in the 60s. Because I need
You know what's wild about it though? Like because this thing is low budget, man. But those effects, like they're using it for emphasis, man. Because like essentially, man, she's Jean Grey. There's just no Professor X. Yes, there's no Professor X to tell her how to deal with this stuff, and she's dealing with womanhood, because that's the part of what that opening scene is. Like her period comes on, and she doesn't know anything about this because her mom is so crazy, sheltering and crazy. But that's another aspect that I do like, is just showing her torment, because it's a character arc, man. Like we got to see her go through this struggle before we get to that conclusion and realize why that conclusion is. And this film, it is a tragedy, but we're also rooting for this person, man. Like we're rooting for Carrie. We get to meet her getting beat on and just being on the lowest rung on the ladder, in the hierarchy in school, and just in the town in general. Because not only is it in the school, the people in the town are speaking down on her because they know how wild her mom is, and it's crazy, man. Watching that torment, build up and build up and build up, and it's coming at her from all angles, man. It's crazy.
You can't help but to root for her. I mean, this is a story of bullying, told in a very unique way. You know what I'm saying? Because like you said, she's not only, most people that's ever, been on the being bullied side of things, a lot of that torment comes in the school atmosphere. So I think they embodied that well. But like you said, it's not just the school, it's the town. She's being bullied because of things that her mother did, or because of her, while she's at school, the mom is going around knocking on people's door like, hey, by the way, let me tell you about my thoughts and feelings about how you're living and, my religious points of view. But she's not really selling anything. She's just, or trying to convert nobody. She's just almost like being a nuisance to everyone.
She was a pop-up ad in 1976. Like,
there
you didn't know what was about to happen, dog. But you heard something at your door, and you shouldn't stop clicking X. It's just gonna make 5 other pop-ups happen. Like, no, just let this penis enlargement story tell. Like, I knew shit was different when the homegirl hit her with the $10, and she was still mad that she didn't talk about Jesus. I was like, yo, I thought you was doing what you wanted to do. She's like, no, I want to talk about Jesus. I'm not gonna lie. Like,
that's what I really wanted to do. It's like, if they give me some money, that's cool. But you know what's wild to me? She was extreme, man. The mom was crazy. But so look, this is the funny part to me. Like, there's a moment where Carrie comes home after the period thing, and even the mom is just bugging out. I'm like, yo, but that means boys are gonna be coming. And she gives her this book, and I'm like, I've never seen this book in my life. And I've been around. I got my family, a lot of them down south. I've been in the deep religious, speaking in tongues, all of that. I've never seen this book that Carrie's mom had. It had pictures. It said something about the evils of women, or I'm like, yo, this is nuts. Like, this is what her mom's head is filled with, and what she's judging Carrie by, holding her to that standard. And it's no wonder she doesn't know about, like, her own body. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Because in essence, the mom was trying to tell her that what she did, Carrie was embracing sexual thoughts, and that's what brought her period about. Like, what? And then she's like hitting her with the book, like, yeah, say Eve is evil, say this, say that. It's like, what is wrong? What? And then
with a heavy ass book too. Like, my God.
Yeah, that was like a phone book. That back in the day, yellow pages. What's what? That's, are you kidding?
Honestly, I got scared because, like, if it was a big book, like if it was phone book size, you could see that she couldn't swing it as hard.
It's random. Sometimes, usually it's pretty stable, man. But sometimes, every now and then, it'll, these
all
things.
Right, so which one of the three of us got that Carrie telekinesis shit going on and made the microphone go off? I don't know. Who's in their power?
I ain't got eyes on my wife. She's upstairs now, so I'm gonna say it's her. We've been through some real shit. Like, we got a bunch of like smart plugs in the house, right, to like control like older devices that aren't smart. So like we have one of those big ass wind machine fans, and I put it on a smart plug. That way I can turn the fan on and off. We've had this for over a year, no problems. We've had this newer plug for like 90 days, no problem. Out of nowhere, this fucking month, it started turning itself back on when you turn it off. And it's to the point where, like, I think I know what the issue is, but we're still genuinely concerned when it happens. Because, like, you'll just be sitting on the couch and, like, I'll, like, click and turn off the fans. And then, like, 3 minutes later, it's just like, click, it starts blowing. I'm like, hey, yo, chill.
Maybe the fan has learned when you want some air.
That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping this is some, like, super Apple shit that I don't know. Because it does say, like, my climate is at, like, 56%. So I wonder if, like, there's like some cause and effect, like if this then that, like, oh, if your climate goes under a certain percentage, we'll turn on the fan or some shit. But I'll find all that out November 1st. I'll find all that out November 1st. I'm letting this shit say spooky as possible all October because it's
that's good atmosphere, man.
There you go.
Yeah, this is free content right now. Like, but yeah, what was I saying before I got
We were talking about her hitting Carrie with the telephone sized book.
So fucking like the fact that I used to be one of them niggas that used to like tear phone books in half and shit just because it was not like the straight side rip, but like ripping the spine. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I know as a person that's hit somebody with a telephone book before, like that's a two-handed type job. But she got like that density, but in a book like this size, like maybe like 4 or 5 inches. So she just like whipping that shit at her, and I'm like, "Yo, like this is gonna create CTE. Like you can't do this shit." And then put her in a closet with the creepiest Jesus ever, yo.
Real quick. See, I looked in this because we all have called it the same thing. They say it's not supposed to be a statue of Jesus. It's actually Saint Sebastian.
Saint Sebastian. Okay, that makes sense.
I don't know. I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. Then why does he? Why?
But how does he spell it? Is it Sebastian?
Sebastian. And then, I mean, and not for nothing, like, dude, his face looked like the mom. Why does statue still look like the mom anyways?
Exactly. I think that was totally called for.
They even have the same hair.
Yeah. The hair is what really sold it for me in the end. I was like, oh, that's an allegory for the mom, not for Jesus. But like, especially like, jumping all the way to the end, she got stabbed with knives the same place the arrows were at the end. Like they really,
and then fell the same way as
the worst part.
Symbolism,
The worst part, really, for me though, was when you first see that Saint Sebastian statue. And those weird looking eyes are looking at the camera. Like, what the fuck was that? Yeah. Like, how do you get the creepiest doll of all time, yo?
Yeah. But it's crazy that it's messed up. Like, I feel even worse for Carrie that her mom had a dedicated torture timeout room, and it was decorated.
What's crazy? What's different from Carrie than Harry Potter? Because he got thrown underneath the stairs a whole bunch of times.
Mm-hmm.
Right. He got magical powers.
Yeah, I mean, it's similar, or maybe Harry Potter got that from watching this film or was inspired by this film.
And then, and you see, this was nothing that Carrie wasn't used to, because as soon as she went in there, she had to gather herself, stare at this creepiest statue in life, and then she was like, all right, cool, I'm calm, let me light a candle and start praying.
Right, yeah.
This is what I gotta do.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Like, shout out to the mom. That is one aspect that I do like. It's one of these characters you love to hate because she was acting her ass off, man. She was definitely selling that role.
Was the scariest part of the whole movie for me when you get back from prom and she just hiding behind the door, because I don't know when you guys noticed she was behind the door, but I noticed it right away. And like the longer she sat there silently, the more scared I got. I'm like, yo, this is giving me fucking Hereditary vibes. I want to go home. I am in my own bed, but I want to go home right now.
That's hilarious, because when I walked in, Cora was watching this, and it was at that point, I was like, bro, you're about to see the creepiest scene. I was like, when the mom is hiding behind the door, bro. Yes, man. No, and the mom is the villain. Like, if anyone else, I mean, we don't like the bullies because no one likes bullies. Mm-hmm. But the mom... Mom
wasn't helping, man. You know,
she is a super villain. Mm-hmm. You know, if Carrie is Jean Grey, then is the mom Apocalypse?
I was about to say, yo, like she got to be something at least Mr. Sinister or some shit, yo.
Yeah,
like, she fucked up out here, yo. Like,
oh my gosh!
Like I like in my head, because of the way as men we're taught about shit. You know what I mean? I thought it was going to be like, oh, this was a horrible, traumatic thing that happened to her at school. But once she gets home, everything will be okay because her mom's going to console her and just be like, my bad. I didn't know it was yet time for you yet. You know what I mean? X, Y, Z. And then it went to, how come you didn't tell me? And I was like, excuse me? Like this is like those have eyes levels of creepiness right now.
Like you can see the mom is a little bit responsible for her being the social misfit and outcast and you know, not only that, like even if Carrie was the coolest kid in school and lovable and had friends, they probably still pick on her because of how wild her mom was. You know,
you're being nice. It's not a little bit. It's a lot of it. The mom's fault. A lot of it. All the way.
Carrie wasn't doing nothing wrong. You know, she cleaned up well at the end. Also, she just made her own dress, and that's barely talked about in the movie. Like she just fashions her own dope ass prom dress. I was sitting there like, damn, this that. Like I appreciate it because I was trying to figure out like a name, like what would her brand be. And I basically got like, off-white at the end of the day. I was like, white. So this is like on-white, sideways white. I don't fucking know, but like I'm rolling with the shit. And they never mentioned the dress. Like I thought, like I literally thought like they would have had other girls at the prom coming up to her like, "Where'd you get your dress?" And she'd have been like, "I made it." You know what I mean? And they just brushed over that to show that she put her mom in her fucking place and was like, "I'm sewing now," which is, you know. I feel like kind of a parallel to my life with my wife when she pulled out the crochet hooks, and I just know I gotta shut up because she's crocheting now, and if I interrupt that crocheting, I might be crocheted. I don't even know how that works. But I don't want that for me.
So what's something else you like about this, Bob?
Dude, not for nothing. The music. I think the music throughout this film takes on a role in itself. It is another character. You know what I'm saying? Because just like, the G.I. Joe film or the Transformer film, music plays all the way through. This does the same thing, and it hits kind of like old school, like Merry Melodies or Looney Tunes.
Like as music the whole time.
As these scenes are happening, the highs, the lows, the music dips and ducks the same way. And I think it was a really cool idea that whenever she does carry out and do her telekinesis thing, they got that sound. That's from Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho.
I thought it was somewhere else.
It was a very similar sound, but this music, it adds so much emphasis into the feeling of the scenes of what's going on. You know what I'm saying? You can tell when Carrie's up or when she's down or when something bad is happening. And to me, like that is, you can watch this movie and not be able to see nothing and still get a vibe for what's really going on. And I think
it was
that
really good. I need to find out what song was being played when they were trying on the tuxedos. Because that shit just slapped. Like, my wife tried to play out the music. She was like, oh, this music corny as shit. And then she looked over to her left at me in the bed. And I'm like, nah, this shit got hard, dog.
You know what got me to a good musical moment is when she arrives to the prom. It's crazy because it's foreshadowing because like they're playing this beautiful music. It's like if it's your day, I'm the queen, and she's coming in. And then right when she gets there, and I think they show one of the characters that's been plotting on her, because basically they talk her into going to the prom so they can, do the ultimate humiliation. But the music is so nice. It's like, it's so wonderful. This is the best day ever. And then right when it gets there,
nobody knows about what's happening that's in the car. Like Tommy and Carrie don't know.
Yeah, they don't know, but we know.
Tommy Ross is a good dude at this point.
Tommy Ross, yo. Tommy Ross, the Fist Club, yo. I fuck with Tommy Ross for the rest of my life.
Me too.
He cried so hard and he was like, my girl want me to do this shit. Fine, I'll take her to prom. I don't even care. You know what? You a cool person. We gonna live it up tonight. It's all good.
Yeah, we know that the music is reflective of her having the night of her life, but then at the last minute, they show one of the other characters has been plotting, and then there's like a, and it's like, yo, it's just enough to let you know, like this ain't going.
The violin string
this ain't going to go good.
Because Bobby said that obviously the sound effect cue for Carrie was from Psycho.
Mm-hmm.
So this whole town was named after Psycho then, because it's the Bates Farm.
Yeah,
and all that shit. I noticed it. I was like, that feels, because at first I was like, that's a little heavy-handed, but nah, it's probably just like a little reference, because when you go to the pig farm, it says Bates Farm, but then it says Bates something somewhere else too, and I'm like, oh, they just named like the whole town Bates or some shit like that.
Yeah,
and just kept that makes so much more sense, and just because like, and probably I don't think it was Stephen. I feel like that's more on the director than on Stephen King, but yeah, it was a really nice thing to notice. So like, oh yeah, this is like the mom still is the villain. You know what I mean? The soundtrack's going to be effortlessly fly, but this is going to watch.
Also, I don't think Stephen King put his hand that deep in the cookie jar with this, being though that this was his first novel and his first film adaptation. I think he was.
It was the very first.
That's crazy. Very first. Wow. So I think he was a way more liberal, because I mean, at this point, I think he was still writing books by another name. Like, he didn't even want people to know it was him.
Mm-hmm.
So,
did he kill that person with a car yet? I feel like that's the only way I really deal with Stephen King's like you got BC and 80.
Did he kill someone with a car though? Was that part of it? I didn't know that.
He got to with a car, yo.
What? Because I remember he got hit by a car.
Oh wait, that's right. My shit's backwards. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was like, I
didn't see that in my notes.
That'd be crazy if he killed someone with a car and then got hit by a car.
I was thinking, oh, that's where that scene from Thinner came from. I was nasty girl.
And I will say this: I do love that podcasting at the age we are now. Because 10 years ago, I'd be like, oh, fuck, I got to edit this. I was wrong. Nigga, I'm an uncle now. I'm an uncle now, dog. I don't care. I'm supposed to be wrong. Like
exactly.
Oh yeah, we can take all the time.
All three of us always say because we might be 10% wrong all the time. It don't matter because it sounded good when we said it.
Exactly. I was about to say, you say it with your chest, you mean it with your heart. Yep. Whatever. It sounds good to me.
So another thing that I liked on here was the gym teacher, man. Not only I liked her for smacking fire out of everybody, but she was like Carrie's first advocate, man. Yes. Like she even smacked Carrie in the beginning, but once she realized what was going on and how the other girls were treating her, she became sympathetic, man. And I thought that was cool. And in a weird way, I wish I had more of her background. It seems like she was kind of living vicariously through her later on. It's like, oh, you got a chance to go to the prom, go. Like just, even that.
It felt like to me they were going to say, like, I went through a similar high school experience as you. You know what I mean?
She makes mention when she goes into the principal's office at the beginning. She was like, I relate to what those girls were doing. I wanted to take her up. So I'm thinking, I don't think that she was living vicariously because she used to get picked on. I think she used to be a bully, and now in her adulthood, she sees the wrongs in what effects that it has.
There to fix the,
because I mean, she's really, really taking Carrie under her wing, which I think was a great thing, But I mean, shit. In her 45-minute gym class, she was more of a mom to Carrie and. What? Bro, her whole life, dog.
It was bad. She was the legit mom for Carrie. Like,
but
what were you gonna say?
Oh, no. Go ahead. Finish your thought.
No, I was just saying, like, it was one of the things that when I noticed that she wasn't going to get out at the end of the movie, I was like, oh damn, yo, like, I wanted her and Tommy to live, yo, like her Tommy.
Yeah, that thing.
When that shit hit me in the back of the head, I was like, "Oh, come on!" Like, because like it was funny because it looked like it didn't hurt, and that's because it didn't hurt when it actually hit him because it was a prop. But like in my head, I still looked at it like, "Nigga, get up!" Like it ain't that bad.
We got to factor in this is a 1970s bucket, so that's made of steel.
Real bucket.
It's not made out of aluminum.
Yeah, she had to pull that string really hard too.
What?
It was like a rope.
You know what I'm saying?
Yo, question. So when Sue notices the rope and it being connected to the bucket, why didn't she just hang on to the rope? Because if she held the rope, then the rope couldn't pull down the bucket. Like, no matter how bad her or John Travolta pulled, she would have just been sitting there and it would have been tugging on the part underneath her hand. And then she could have been like, hey, yo, I'm here. But instead, the gym teacher just starts beating her ass and grips her up and pulls her out. And like,
everybody wants to be Inspector Gadget. I was like, well, whoops, let me follow this round.
The gym teacher knew they was plotting those. Like,
but
it
didn't look good, yo.
To your point, Core, about the awesomeness of the gym teacher, I think, another thing that made this film so successful is, I mean, we get our two mains in the mom and Carrie, but these sub-characters were so, I don't want to, not all of them were likable. Nancy Allen wasn't likable. John Travolta, it was like, man, whatever. But, but they were all, valid in their own right in this film. Like for me, like I said, I mean, I spoke on it earlier, but dude, Tommy Ross, right? I don't see no wrong in this dude. Like, I mean, he didn't initially want to take Carrie out to the prom. We all know that. His girl told him, hey man, go take her out. And he was subjective at first, but when it gets down to the meat and potatoes of it, he was going to do any and everything possible to make sure she had the time of her life. And actually, he started to look like he was trying to have the time of his life with her as well.
Yeah, he was
digging on her. He was like, yo, let's check our names on the box. He kisses her. You know what I'm saying? They have the most dizziest dance ever in life. I had to fast forward. I was like, yo, this is going to make me throw up. I was drinking a little bit. I can't watch all this spinning right now. This is too much. But but these secondary characters, they're just so important to the genetic makeup of this film as well, man. I think that was also a very, very cool cool aspect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. Yeah, and also, I guess the one thing that stands out to me too, man, is, I mean, it's a film where they're doing a bare minimum with effects, man. I think that was on purpose because of the budget, but we get little things like when she gets angry, like that scene in the office, or the light bulb blows up, or the ashtray flips off the table. But I think that final sequence at the prom, when things go haywire, I think they do a real good job. Like Bob spoke on earlier, that the fire hose, the way it's chasing the people, and everything starts moving. Tables are flipping, things are stabbing people. They're running in terror, man.
People
like,
stuck in the doors.
Yeah, the doors are so heavy.
That should kill me. I was like, just fall backwards. Fall forward, do something, but just don't stand in the middle of the door.
Hey, do a tuck and roll.
Yeah, man. It was great, man, the way that falls, plays out. But also what's interesting, man, the way this thing is shot, man, I don't know if it's because of the old film grade, but there's a haze about it. Like it almost feels like you're watching like a fairy tale or a dream, kind of, going on, like at times.
One of the coolest things about this movie to me, outside of all the things that we've already spoke on, is that even when you know the outcome, like a lot of people, just like, Jason wears the mask, Freddie has the glove, Carrie gets the blood poured on her, and shit goes south at the prom. You can know this with never seeing this movie, and it doesn't take anything away from your first viewing. You know what I'm saying? Because the buildup is that strong, and the way the story is delivered and told, and also ultimately shot and everything else that goes into it. And I think that's what makes great movies. You know what I'm saying? Is when you know what's going on, and you can still watch it and enjoy it. You know what I mean? And this film does that in every way. Yeah.
It's interesting too. Brian De Palma as a filmmaker, there's some tricks that he does in this film that show up in later films. Like that prom sequence, it goes down mostly with no dialogue. It's just straight music, and you see the action of the people they're arguing under the table, grabbing at the buckets. They're talking to each other, but you're not hearing what they're saying. It's just being portrayed with the music in the background. And he does that again in Scarface when my man Tony's in the club by himself, all wasted, and the hitmen come after him. It's the same way, slow motion, and it's playing out. There's another film he did. I think it was on the later end in the early 2000s, Femme Fatale with Rebecca Romaine, and there's a couple really long sequences that play out like action sequences in super slow motion with this crazy music, and things are happening, man. So it's kind of interesting to see the beginning of this director's style. I think he also did Godfather, man. So there's probably similar sequences in that film as well, man.
And he was known for the split screen, dog. He's the one who started doing that.
Also, my favorite editing trick he ever did the whole movie was at not the very end, but at the end when a homegirl's gonna run her over with the car, and she explodes the car and rolls, but whilst rolling, the frame also rolls. And just I was like, that's so stupid. Like, that is so Windows Movie Maker of you. I love it. I was like, this is like a 9.5 out of 10 movie, but that was so bad while being so good. I was like, immediate 10 out of 10 right there.
And another thing, I just because we put this right back on, it's at this spot. I thought it was really cool that they altered the ending in this. A lot of times it doesn't work, but in the ending of the novel, she actually, like that scene that you just spoke on. Yeah, she flips the car, does her little do, and then she goes to hunt down Sue and Tommy because they apparently didn't.
Yeah, they got out,
burn up in the flames, and then she realizes that they weren't, colluding against her, and they just really wanted her to be happy at the prom, and then she just dies off in the field. And all is right with the world.
Oh, but that wouldn't have worked.
In this, like
you make it like that, she comes off as the bad guy.
The whole scene, with the mom and her coming back home and all that. What makes this movie like extremely more impactful than what it already was up until this point is because they altered this ending and gave us the whole scene with the mom and the stabbing and the house falling and all that stuff. I think that was very, very smart decision making on the fly, and for Stephen King to just step back and be like, hey, you know what? You want to change it. And then he's actually quoted saying that he likes the ending of the movie better than the one he wrote. So,
oh wow,
it's a testament to that. Yeah,
it's crazy, man. It's crazy too that the fire truck just rolled right past No one stopped this woman walking down the street covered in blood.
I mean, and dude, like her eyes are like headlights, bro. It's like,
it's not Halloween.
Yep.
When does prom go down? Like, prom is like what? Like, maybe it is fall. Usually, I feel like
homecoming. Yeah, prom
is on the spring. Actually, spring summer. Yeah, that's weird. No one's just stopping. Are you okay, man?
Nobody gave a shit, yo. Not one person. They were
like, you know what? That school was 90% bullies. Let them burn.
yeah. Or they laughed at her. But, it's crazy, man. So, anything else you want to talk about this one, Sterling?
Let me see. I'm gonna just run through all my notes. Okay. There's one part. There's one because we mentioned the soundtrack earlier. Why were there so many woodwind instruments? Like, I've never heard so many fucking flutes in a goddamn movie that wasn't about anything flutes are about. Like, it was to the point where, I don't know, like we don't talk about it for spoiler reasons, but like the She-Hulk finale, they put the flutes back in the She-Hulk finale, and I got hyped. And now this was basically just like what do you call it? Like really good marketing, just being like, 11/11, nigga, you go to the movie theater, you buy the whole thing out so we can go see Black Panther and shit. But like, it was to the point where like we just kept mentioning the flutes. What do you call it? Somebody got called Cassie. I forgot. Oh, the main chick, I think.
Oh yeah. They kept calling her. I remember the principal was calling her Cassie. He didn't remember her name.
Yeah, and she kept getting corrected. She was like, "It's Carrie White." Okay, Cassie, come on in. What? Flip the ashtray.
Oh, you know what? The opening scene where they're like throwing like tampons at her and shit. Mm-hmm. She's yelling, "Help me!" And technically, they are. They're giving her what she needs. You know what I mean?
But also, this is crazy that I noticed on that they had a lot of like women sanitary product.
Dog, when Homer ripped the fucking joint off the wall, she ripped the shit off the wall to throw more pads at her. Like it straight up was like.
Flashback to now, and it's like it's a struggle. People, that's the thing now, struggling to keep these things in the schools to have funding for that. Like, and it's wild. And I'm just seeing these young women just wasting it, just throwing
available.
Like it was a legit DPS phase. Like if it was a video game, like they pelted her with as much shit as possible. And she kept saying, "Help me!" And I was like, technically, like you got to be more direct because you are on your period now, and you need pads, and they're going to make sure you got enough pads to last you at least to your 20s and shit.
She could have laid those things out and made a bed on them and been comfortable, bro. That's how much they threw at her, yo. It was like a pile. It was.
Norma Jean, I believe was her name. My favorite character of the whole movie, Norma Jean, the one that wouldn't take the hat off. The whole she even wore with her prom dress. Like she was the worst. There was so much slow-mo in the very end of the movie. Mm-hmm. Like it just felt like it was funny. Like remember when we had slow-mo and everything and like video clips and everything, like when the iPhone first did it, and we were like, all right, that's enough. No more slow-mo. That's how I felt within 2 minutes. I'm like, yo, stop. Like speed it up and slow it down. Like you're literally just making this movie longer than it needs to be.
That's the funny thing about it because the movie it's $138. And
right.
I told my daughter, we watched it for the first time earlier this week. I was like, this would be about an hour-long TV show episode without all the slow-mo. I was like, that's what gave us that extra 36 minutes is all that slow-mo. So you're right on time with that.
I wonder if it's ever been edited and not have the slow-mo. Because I feel like that's something, what's his name? Topher Grace?
Put it on normal speed. Put it at normal speed, those sequences.
I bet you that's just on, what do you call it? Like, it's probably on YouTube somewhere, like Carrie, but no slow-mo or some shit, you know what I mean? But, all around, it was... 8 minutes. It's only 32 minutes long now. The whole story is just dealt with. It's just a fucking smash cut of people getting slapped and then people dying. Like I'd watch the shit out of that, yo.
What?
But yeah, like I think that was pretty much it. I wish more happened in the film, like more to lead to a Carrie 2. I wish Carrie didn't just die underneath settlement. I also kind of hope she isn't dead. She's just like resting on some Phoenix shit. You know what I mean? Because
from the ashes.
Yeah, I'm rooting for her, yo. Like Carrie, like you wild out at school a little bit, but I'm rooting for you.
I'll say this with no spoiler: Carrie 2: The Rage is well worth watching. It is a solid sequel. Still stays with the same story arc. And the cool thing is that the young lady who plays Sue is a returning character from the original. It's the same actress, so I like that. Amy Irving. So she comes back. And the only other thing I want to mention is when Carrie does go to the library, we spoke on the book that she reads. Mm-hmm. So anyone who feels like they're having Carrie moments or you move shit with your mind, it is a real book. It's called The Secret of Science, The Secret Science Behind Miracles, and it's written by Max Freedom Long in 1948.
Max Freedom Long. I remember when I saw that name, I was like, yo, how do you not just go to the court and change your name to get the Long out of there? Just be Max Freedom.
I feel like he's like done porn or something. You know?
I was about
Freedom Long. Freedom Long.
It feels like the most 80s name ever. Like it feels like the most 80s name ever to be like, hi, my name is Max Freedom. Like, god damn, bro. When I buy my fireworks next year, I'm definitely gonna be shooting them off as Max Freedom because
Max Freedom. There you go. So yeah, man,
that's gotta be a suit on them, yo. He made that up.
Ain't no way. Nobody names their middle. No, I was about to say, don't nobody name their child's middle name Freedom, and I know that is definitely a lie because the internet is stupid as hell. There are probably multiple.
There are a lot of names
out there, bro. Yes, I'm pretty sure there's a Freedom.
Yes,
It's wild times, man. But yeah, I think we can go in and start wrapping this up, man. If my final thoughts on this, man, I think this movie still holds up. It's worth checking out. There are a lot of sequels to it. I haven't bothered to. Like, not sequels, but other remakes. Yeah. There's at least 2 more. I think Chloe Grace Moretz plays on
the most recent. Yeah, it was a 2002 and then like a 2000 something else.
It's hard for me to picture her being a social outcast in high school, but whatever. It is what it is.
Right.
Let me say this, man. This film still holds up to me. Every time I watch it, I notice something else. Even the kooky stuff that makes it a little goofy, I even like that, man. But if you haven't seen it, I would definitely recommend checking it out. And if you have seen it, watch it again. Throw it on. Sometimes that's a fun too, revisiting stuff that you've seen before, and just seeing how you reacted, with your newer mind.
Yeah, and I mean, to your point, this is definitely one that it's not something I'll watch every year mandatorily, but you let a little bit of time pass, you throw it back on, like you say, you watch it, you view it through a new lens, and there's always something else that will make you appreciate this film. I mean, this film is a certified horror classic for a reason.
Yeah.
The image of Carrie with the blood, I mean, it's iconic. Like I said, people who have never seen the movie know what that is, just like they know the golden arches for McDonald's. So, if you've seen it, watch it again. If you haven't, and do yourself a favor, sit down and watch it.
Seriously,
this one, not 3 minutes.
Mm-hmm. So, you got any final thoughts on it, Sterling?
No, I don't think I do. Honestly, like I'm definitely going to watch Carrie 2. That definitely happened. Because I'm invested in the world, so you know what I mean. Like I want to see more of it, and beat your kids. It helps. There is somebody listening right now, like, yo, I will say this out of pocket, yeah.
I will say this: it's probably a reason the 3 of us are doing this right now and not in church. So.
Hey man, listen, because all of the church is filled with married moms. You know what I mean? I did just notice it is 12 on a Sunday while we're recording this. You know what I mean? We are the sinners, dog. We're the mongrels, yo.
That's it.
Yeah, but that's it, man. We're gonna wrap this thing up, man. This has been Monk. You catch me at Monkey Blood on Twitter, Instagram. Follow Classics Cinematics on Instagram at Classics of Cinematics, and follow the network in general. We're on Instagram at FTCNet and on Twitter at FromTheCanopy.
This is Bobby Blockbuster. You can catch me at Bobby Blockbuster 118 on Instagram.
Yeah, we had to fight to get him to do that, Sterling.
Yes.
Hey, man,
I enjoy being a caveman.
You and my wife would get along just well because she's the same way. Like she still says her Twitter handle. She may tweet once a year, like once a whole year. It's like she don't care, and she's not even one of those people that like go on there to lurk. She just don't care. Like up right now, she's upstairs playing Don't Starve. She don't give a fuck about the internet, Like
that's me.
But yeah, I believe it is my turn to go. I haven't done one of these in a while, but you can find me on Twitter at Samaritan. That's SUHMARITAN. You can also find me on TikTok, Instagram, Twitch, all under the same thing at Samaritan. Once again, that's SUHMARITAN. If you want to find me, just type that into your Googles and it will pop up. Please, it's the easiest thing to do. I also have a bio site that I believe will be linked in the show notes if you want to find me there. I just sent it over to Corey because honestly, I'm not gonna lie, yo. I'm gonna say this for y'all right now too. A quick tip: make yourself like a link tree because it makes everything so much easier. I didn't realize how much easier it made everything because I was, as a Susio nigga, I came from knowing link trees as to being where you find the OnlyFans at. But like, you can legit just be like when somebody asks for your information, just send them one basic ass link that has like all 10 of your platforms on it. You know what I mean? And especially for like Bobby, who doesn't really like to do Instagram or something, you could throw his on there and like just like all the socials from the Canopy, and you just give that out, and it's based like a virtual business card, which is fucking fantastic now. You know what I mean? I just got to it. It just made mine like last month, and it changed how easy everything is for me.
The crazy thing is I have one, but I keep forgetting to just put that into the show notes instead of
we're old, dog. We're old. Like it's bad, Like we're the boomers now. Like every time, like and it'd be some shit where you notice it, and you're like, I understand that this is good. Like this is a good piece of technology, and I should adopt it. But my brain's dumb as shit. So I'm not going to remember to do it after I make it. I legit, if it wasn't for me sending my bio site to Rod, I wouldn't even have known where to go to send it to you real quick so you can have it for the off show notes. But yeah, everybody listening to Gaming Then Some Network, we are at GATSPOD on Twitter as well. GATSPOD. Almost fucked that up. Also, the MCOC show on YouTube. That's THEMCOCSHOW. We talk about Marvel Contest of Champions as well as whatever else the fuck we want to talk about. And give us some love over on Patreon. Patreon.com/GATSPOD. That's GATSPOD.
Yeah, that's what's up, folks. We're going to catch y'all next time, man. Thanks for coming to hang with us, Sterling. Appreciate this, man. No problem,
I've been waiting to do this. Like, I want to say, it's been like 2 years we've been trying to plan this now, I want to say.
Yeah.
It's almost like something horrible stopped the world from happening. I don't know. I don't know.
2 years later. Definitely. That's what's up, man. Appreciate you, man. We're going to holler at you. And we're going to definitely make more of this stuff happening, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So we'll be reaching out in the future, man. Definitely. But we'll catch y'all next time, folks, man. We'll be back with more of Stephen King stuff for the month of October. And we out. Peace.
Peace.
Yeah, man.